On the final Friday for baseball here inside the Cherry Capital, a big hello and welcome everybody to the Northwoods League Baseball Network for the Resorters and the Pit Spitters. First for the road team, Pit Spitters in tonight's game. Tommy Troy, Chris Faust, Joe Loudon, Carson Eby, who had a little bit of a rough game last night, looking to bounce back in this one. Cooper Marshall, Brant Kim, Kyle Van Leer, Jack Schaefer, and then Gaetano Vallone back in the 9th spot. Defensively for the home team, Resorters, second game of this three-game homestand. Hurd, Reifenberg, De Herrera. Aaron Hurd's been on fire. Chase Bassard, who has also been on fire. He was a perfect 1-for-1 in last night's game. Crew co-host, Champ Davison, Noah Marcoux, Anthony Pohl back behind the plate for Mr. Ice in his veins. James Rogers out of Davenport University getting the start for the Resorters here tonight. And there's a look at Rogers, the real Slim Shady, if you will. As you see his new hair. 1-4 so far this year, 27 2/3 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts, a 2.28 ERA. And he's been undoubtedly one of the most dynamite arms on this pitching staff to this point on the season. His last start out, 6 1/3, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts. He came just 2 outs shy of becoming the first Resorter to deal a complete game here in 2020. And don't let that 1-4 record fool you by any means. Only half of all the runs he's allowed this season, only half of them have been earned. So he hasn't necessarily gotten a lot of favors from his defense or his offense. Be a tough night, though, having to face the man that leads him off. Here's Tommy Troy. We'll certainly have a lot to say about this kid moving forward, as again his parents in attendance here tonight. Great Lakes Resorters picked up the win last night 6-4. Again, looking to make it 2 straight for the first time this season. And we only have 5 more games left. First pitch to Troy. Well outside. Low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Thing about Rogers, though, here are a couple of numbers you should pay attention to. Again, 1-4 doesn't look great, but you have to take records when it comes to starting pitchers, especially on this team, with a grain of salt. That 1-4, that 1 is one of only 6 to this season, but he has the longest scoreless streak out of any pitcher on this staff. 12 2/3 straight without a run between 2 starts. He's the team leader in punchouts with 22. Pitched over 6 innings on 3 separate occasions this summer. When you have this lefty on the mound, normally it will be a night off for your bullpen, or at least it'll be a lighter night. Without a doubt, one of the most deceiving pickoff moves on this team. Caught 4 separate spitters leaning in his last 2 starts. 3 straight balls. Finally feeds a strike over here to Tommy Troy, 3-1. Rogers, one of 2 guys on this Resorters team that are on the All-Star ballot. There's a fastball in at the knees. Troy watches a couple go by, now full count. So Rogers is one of them. The other one is Christian Garcia, who is no longer on the team. He went back to Southeastern Louisiana University. But Rogers has been nothing short of outstanding. 3-2 outside. That's not too great. Leadoff walk to Tommy Troy, and the one man you don't want on base to start off the game is on first with no one out. So Troy down to first. And I told you last night that Chris Faust was playing in his last baseball game. I lied. Here's Chris Faust hitting second here tonight. I got that information from Todd Reed, one of the assistant coaches, bench coach for the Pit Spitters. Coho steps on second, throws to first. And they turn 2 on 1 pitch here to Faust. That's how you erase the leadoff runner. 2 down here for Joe Loudon. But Todd Reed believed it was his last game. We actually posted about it on our social media page at TC Pit Spitters. I gave him a whole honorary game last at bat, talked about his career, and turns out it wasn't his last game. So Fausty back in the lineup here tonight. The last remaining Pit Spitter on this team from the original roster back on July 1st. Loudon watches a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on. 1-1. Runs inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The one thing James Rogers is exceedingly good at is taking care of guys on the base paths. Whether that means getting ground balls and double plays or picking them off, you're never safe on the base paths when James Rogers is on the mound. Even at 2-2 after that fastball. Not the first time Rogers has played with Coach Cut, though. Played for the Muskegon Clippers not too long ago, last summer. 2-2. Got him. Swings at the elevated fastball. First 3 guys go down. Still no score. We'll be right back for the bottom of the first, right here on the Northwoods League Baseball Network.
Team. Either way, we've got you covered. Available now free from the App Store and Google Play.
We're back for the bottom of the first inning here on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. Let's take a peek at the Great Lakes Resorters in this game. They had 3 doubles last night en route to the win. Champ Davison, crew co-host Ryan Reifenberg, who had a double last night, one of the 3. Aaron Hurd in the 4th spot, rightfully so. He's been on fire. TJ De Herrera, Noah Marcoux, Roman Kuntz, Anthony Pohl, and then Chase Bissard in the 9th spot. Just got 1 hit last night. That's all he needed to propel these guys to the win. For the Pitt Spitters, Marshall, Valoni, Van Leer in the outfield. Faust over at 3rd again. Tommy Troy at short. Kim, Eby at 1st. Loudon back behind the plate. Then on the mound, the kid out of Grand Valley State University, Mark Scannell, the righty. Grand Rapids, Michigan native, getting his 3rd nod on this season. 1-0, 8 2/3, 5 strikeouts, a 1.04 ERA. And while the Resorters have made their fair share of contact against him, not much to speak of. Davison gets us started off. He cracks that one to the left, down the left field line. Full head of steam around first. He's into second with a leadoff double. We told you a little bit on previous broadcasts that these guys are using ambush tactics. First pitch swinging, there's another example. Ropes it down the left field line and a leadoff double for the guys in green. Here's crew co-host. Well, almost on cue, Davison smacked that one. Was talking about how they've made a lot of contact against Mark Scannell, but don't have much to speak for it. Well, they spoke on that hit. Fastball hangs up high here to co-host. 1 ball, no strike. But Scannell coming into this game gave up 6 hits in back-to-back games against Great Lakes. But one of the things he's proven to be very efficient at is leaving men on the base paths. Fastball in there for a strike. We're even at 1. Only has 5 strikeouts. But he's what they like to call a pitch-to-contact type starter. 1 walk and 8 2/3 innings. So he's okay dancing in and around the strike zone, allowing his defense to make plays behind him. There's that breaking ball that just misses a touch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Went to Forest Hill Central High School in Grand Rapids, Michigan. One of a collection of guys from GV on this Pitt Spitters team. Faust, Joe Loudon as well. So both he and his college battery mate and Joe Loudon combining in this baseball game. Co-host and a friendly hitter's count here at 3 balls and 1 strike. The tide has certainly been shifting in the direction of the Great Lakes Resorters. That 3-1 to the left side. Troy charges, and it bounces off of his arm. No play at first. Co-host is safe. This one should be called an error, but we'll see exactly what they rule. Well, they're calling it a hit. A single for crew co-host. Double from Davison, single from co-host, men on first and second. Now it's time for the red-hot Reifenberg with no outs and 2 guys on. Breaking ball dances in there. No balls, 1 strike. Been a lot of turnaround stories on this Great Lakes Resorters team. Guys that were not doing well who have since exploded at the plate. Reifenberg's one of them. Sitting at 242 coming into today's game. That one bounces. Davison off to third. The throw down, not nearly in time. Both guys advance a base. Davison using his quickness to get up to 3. 2 men in scoring position, 1-1 count, no outs. And Reifenberg, I mean, he started his career here with Great Lakes, 2 for his first 18. Misses that breaker. 1-2. But since proven to be a solid offensive threat. 5-game active hitting streak with a pair of doubles. Just a ho-hum 3 RBIs to go with that. Scannell's 1-2. To the right side. Kim has it. Throws on to first. Make it 4 RBIs for Ryan Reifenberg. 1-0 Resorters here in the first. Didn't try to do too much. Ground it the other way. 1 run home here for the Resorters. It's one of the big names in last night's game. Here's Aaron Hurd. Breaking ball grabs the inside the plate for a strike. Really turning a corner is Hurd. A lot of these guys are. Over his last 2 games, 3 for 6, pair of runs, a double, and 3 RBIs, 2 of which came on a home run. Here's another one. Shoots that one into the gap. Coho's home to score. Hurd on first with an RBI single. It's 2-0 for the guys in green. Eating Scannell up in this first inning. De Herrera next in. .171 for the kid out of IU South Bend, but these Resorters 2-2 out of their last 4. And they have shown the ability to swing the bats, undoubtedly. Six out of the last 7 ball games been decided by 2 runs or less. This one popped up. Troy charging. So the first baseman in Eby just barely finds that one. Makes the catch. 2 outs here for Scannell on the pop-up. Back over to first base. Marcoux the next in here with 2 outs and a man on first. But maybe most importantly for these Resorters, last night, you heard this a little bit during the pregame show, only 3 strikeouts. Marcoux swings at that one and comes up with nothing. 0-1. That's a season low for them. At one point this season, the Pittsburghers just kept rattling off back-to-back-to-back double-digit strikeout games. Not the case anymore. Runner goes. Big-time fly ball to right. Way foul. Would have been way gone had it stayed fair. Still no balls, 2 strikes here to the lefty. One of the names I was surprised not to see on the potential all-star list from this Great Lakes team. Tied for the team high in home runs with 3. Scannell sets again the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, 3 doubles last night for the Great Lakes Resorters, 2-2 over their last 4 games. And in a lot of ways, these final regular season games, kind of like practice, if you will. Because, again, we have that one play-in game coming up on September the 3rd to decide who plays in the championship. That one's cracked to the right into the shift, however. Kim over to first and plenty of time for out number 3. But meanwhile, back-to-back RBI knocks from Ryan Reifenberg, and Aaron Hurd makes it a 2-0 game. We'll be right back. Northwoods League Baseball Network.